I didn't even know how to respond. My heart was racing, and I felt like I was suffocating under the weight of everything. "You don't get it," I said, the words coming out shakier than I intended. "This isn't just about you, okay? It's not just about what you're going through. You've hurt me, my family, and I don't know if I can ever look at you the same way again." My voice cracked, but I refused to let her see me break down. "Not over this." The silence hung between us for what felt like an eternity. Then, finally, she spoke again. "I know I messed up. I don't expect you to forgive me right away. I want to fix this. Can we try? Can we at least try to make things right?" I didn't know what to say. Could I even try to fix this? Could I go back to how things were before? Was it possible to rebuild the trust that had been shattered? I didn't know. I just didn't know anymore. For a moment, I stood there in complete silence, listening to the faint sound of her breathing on the other end. I wanted to believe her. I wanted to forgive her. But I didn't know if I could. My heart ached, my mind was a whirlwind, and the only thing I knew for sure was that nothing would ever be the same again. Finally, I took a deep breath, forcing my voice to steady. "I don't know. I don't know. But I can't keep pretending everything's fine when it's not." The days after that phone call felt like I was living in a fog. I couldn't escape it. Everywhere I went, everything I did, my mind kept replaying the conversation over and over. What was I supposed to do now? Could I really move forward from all the hurt she had caused me? How could I even look at her the same way again? But then, one night, I got another call. It was her again. My heart stopped for a second, my stomach twisting into knots. Was she seriously calling again? What did she want this time? I felt a mixture of anger, confusion, and, if I'm being honest, fear. Fear of what she might say, fear of how much more she could hurt me, fear of the unknown. I almost didn't pick up, but something in me couldn't ignore it. Maybe, just maybe, she had finally realized the depth of what she had done. Maybe, this time, things would be different. My hands were trembling as I answered. "What now?" My voice was sharp, my frustration bubbling just beneath the surface. She had already pushed me to my limit, and I wasn't sure how much more I could take. But she wasn't yelling this time. She wasn't defensive. She wasn't angry. "I've been thinking about everything you said," she started softly. "And I realize now. I was wrong. I really hurt you, didn't I? I never meant to do that. I swear, I didn't." It felt like a punch to the gut. How could she sound so sincere after everything? I wanted to believe her. I wanted to believe that the sister I had once loved so dearly was still there somewhere beneath all this mess. But the truth was, I was scared. Scared to let my guard down. Scared to trust her again. Scared that she'd hurt me even more if I gave her another chance. "You think?" I spat back, my voice trembling. "You think you hurt me? You think? Do you know what it's like to feel like your own sister is turning her back on you? Do you have any idea how much I've cried over this? Do you have any idea what you've put me through? How could you say that? How could you betray me like that?" I stopped myself, my breath coming out in ragged gasps. I was losing it. I was done pretending that I was okay. She was silent for a moment, and for the first time in days, I didn't hear any excuses from her. There was no "I was just frustrated" or "I didn't mean it like that." Instead, I heard her sobbing. I hadn't expected that. I hadn't expected her to break down like this. It hit me like a tidal wave. This wasn't just about me. She wasn't the only one who was hurting. She wasn't the only one who had been suffering. "I never wanted to hurt you. I swear," she whispered, her voice breaking. But I felt like I was drowning, and I didn't know how to ask for help. I didn't know what to do. My heart twisted in my chest. Was that the truth? Was that really what had happened? Was she really just in pain too, and this whole thing had spiraled out of control? Or was this just another manipulation? My head was spinning with a million questions, and no answers in sight. Could I really just forgive her? Could I let this go? Could I let my sister back in after everything that had happened? The silence stretched between us for what felt like an eternity. I didn't know if I was ready to open that door again. If I let her in, would she just slam it in my face again? Or, and this was the terrifying part, what if she didn't? What if this was the real apology I had been waiting for? What if she actually wanted to change? I couldn't breathe. My mind was racing, my thoughts colliding like cars in a crash. I don't know. I finally managed, my voice a soft whisper. I don't know if I can forgive you right now. I just don't know if I'm strong enough to move past this. This was more than just a fight. This was betrayal. This was family. And family isn't supposed to do this to each other. I could hear her sobbing harder now. She was shattered. But I was shattered too. I didn't want to admit it, but the cracks in my heart were growing wider by the second. I'll do whatever it takes, she pleaded, her voice raw with emotion. I swear, I'll do whatever it takes to make this right. I can't lose you. Please, just tell me what to do. Please, just tell me how I can fix this. Her voice broke on the last words, and something inside me snapped. I didn't want to lose her either. But was I willing to let myself be hurt again? Could I take the risk of opening my heart to her after all that had happened? My mind was a whirlwind of emotions. I could hear her begging me through the phone, her words desperate, but I still felt that pit in my stomach, the doubt, the fear of letting her back in. Could she really change? Could I even trust her after everything? Would I ever be able to? And then, almost without thinking, I spoke the words I wasn't sure I was ready to say. I don't know if I can forgive you right now, but I'm not ready to say goodbye. Not yet. There was a pause, and then I heard her breathing more evenly. Was she relieved? Was she thinking that this was a victory? Or was she still scared of what might happen next? My voice softened, the tension starting to drain from my body. But you need to understand something, okay? It's not going to be easy. And you've hurt me too much for me to just forget about it. This will take time. A lot of time. But if you really mean what you're saying, we can try. But this isn't going to be a quick fix. Not by a long shot. Her voice was trembling with emotion as she whispered, I'll wait as long as it takes. I'll prove to you that I'm here, that I'm sorry, and that I'll never hurt you again. And for the first time in a long time, I felt a glimmer of hope. But I didn't know what that hope meant. Was it enough to rebuild everything we had? Or was it just the beginning of a long road that might not even lead to where I wanted to go? The days that followed that phone call were a blur. Every single moment felt like I was trapped in a fog, unable to see clearly or move forward. Everywhere I turned, everything reminded me of the betrayal. Could I really move past what she had done? Was it even possible to repair what was so broken? My heart ached at the thought of it. But then, just when I thought I couldn't take another second of this torment, she called again. My stomach flipped. My heart pounded. Could this be happening? Why was she calling again? How dare she, after everything? But despite the anger boiling inside me, I couldn't resist picking up the phone. Maybe, just maybe, this time would be different. Maybe, just maybe, she had finally realized the depth of the damage she had caused. Maybe, just maybe, this would be her real apology. My hands were trembling as I pressed the phone to my ear. What is it now? I almost shouted. I couldn't contain the frustration in my voice. The anger had built up so much that I barely recognized myself anymore. To my surprise, her voice wasn't defensive. It wasn't filled with excuses or blame. I've been thinking about everything you said, she started, her voice breaking, barely above a whisper. And I realize now. I was wrong. I hurt you. I never meant to. I swear. The words hit me like a freight train. She was actually admitting it. Could this be real? Could she truly feel the weight of what she'd done? I wanted to believe her. I wanted to. But could I? Could I really trust her again after everything that had happened? My head spun with confusion, my heart still fighting against all the hurt she had caused. You think? You think you hurt me? I spat back, the words coming out before I even realized it. My chest was tight, my breath shallow. Do you have any idea what it feels like to have your own sister betray you like that? To feel like I'm just nothing to you. Do you even understand the pain you've caused me? There was a silence on the other end of the line. I couldn't tell if she was going to lash out, defend herself, or if she was actually processing what I was saying. And then, the sound of her sobbing. I froze. She was crying. She was crying. But why? Was she genuinely sorry, or was this just another act to get me to forgive her? My emotions were all over the place. I was angry. I was heartbroken. I didn't know if I could trust her, if I could even look at her the same way again. But hearing her sob like that, my walls began to crumble. Slowly, I could feel a part of me breaking, too. Could it be true? Was she really in pain too? Did she regret what she'd done? I never wanted to hurt you, she gasped between sobs. I swear. I was just so lost. I didn't know how to ask for help. I didn't know what to do. My heart softened. What do I do with that? Was this the truth? Was she really just lost and confused, making mistakes along the way, or was she just trying to manipulate me again? My chest tightened as I tried to hold back the tears. I let out a shaky breath. How could you do this to me? How could you just throw away everything we had? Family isn't supposed to do that, you know. I thought we were supposed to have each other's backs no matter what. But you turned your back on me. My voice was breaking. I couldn't stop it. Every word felt like a punch to my own heart. She was quiet for a moment. I couldn't tell what she was thinking. What was she feeling right now? Was she feeling regret? Or was she just playing me, again? When she finally spoke, her voice was softer, more desperate than before. I don't expect you to forgive me right now. I don't. But I'm so sorry. Please, just, please, tell me what to do. What can I do to fix this? Please, I'm begging you. I could hear the desperation in her voice. And it broke me. It broke me to know how much she wanted my forgiveness, but it also terrified me. Could I really forgive her? Could I just let go of all the hurt? I could feel myself breaking, too, the walls that I had built around myself crumbling little by little. Could we rebuild this? Could we really repair the trust that was shattered into a million pieces? I don't know, I whispered. I don't know if I can forgive you right now. I don't know if I can just forget what you did. The betrayal. It was too much. You hurt me more than I can explain. And I'm not sure I can go back to the way things were, not after everything. I could hear her sobbing harder now, and it twisted my insides. Was this enough? Was it even possible to start over again? I wasn't sure, but I knew one thing for certain, I wasn't ready to just say goodbye. Not yet. Not when so much was left unsaid. Listen, I continued, my voice trembling with emotion. I'm not ready to forgive you. Not yet. But I'm not ready to lose you either. If you really mean it, if you really want to change, we can try. But it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be quick. It's going to take time. A lot of time. For a moment, she was silent, then her voice came through, steady but full of emotion. I'll wait. I'll wait however long it takes. I'll do whatever it takes to prove to you that I'm really sorry. I'll show you that I can be the sister you deserve, and that I'll never hurt you again. And as I heard her words, something inside me shifted. I wasn't sure where this path would lead. But one thing was clear, it wasn't over. Not yet.